Well, hey, Worship Center family, this is our Monday kind of daily connection, our update. And so I'm here with Lynn, which is a counselor for Blue Sky Counseling Services. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I'm really excited to be able to talk with her about some helpful things to do during this time of kind of like the social distancing, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, we find ourselves in, which kind of a weird time we find ourselves in. I thought about what are some cool, good tips for us to be aware of and stuff like that. But the first question I have is, Lynn, what are some maybe warning signs, if you know, that we could kind of signals or red flags that show us that, man, there's something not right here. I need to talk to somebody. I kind of need to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah. So I think first thing that comes to mind is irritation, and that inner like angst is something that I think I see cropping up in a lot of people. I'm doing some online counseling with clients, and that's like the first thing that comes up. It's like, I'm so irritated, I'm so frustrated, it's even hard to put words to it. And those are times to remember to do, reaching out and improve your self-care and do some of the other like sort of ways to help improve your inner world so that your exterior world is just better. So you're not interacting negatively with people around you. Being isolated is going to cause loneliness. If you're someone who does live alone, Anyway, if you're someone who does live alone, you're going to feel a little more isolated. And again, those feelings of sort of like useless, lethargic, I don't want to get out of bed, maybe those beginnings of depressive feelings, notice those and be able to reach out to someone. So those are two that come to mind, just that angst inside and that sadness and useless and hopeless.
Right. And I think that's important for us to let, the people at the church know that that's what us pastors are here for. We're not professional counselors, but we can always be a good ear to listen and to just talk to people. And sometimes that just can help. And so, of course, the church is open. Even though physically we're not open, we still can take phone calls, and pastors are available right now. Take any phone calls to kind of talk you through that if you are feeling some of these emotions that maybe just to talk through. So when you said self-care, working on the inner, what does that look like? Self-care.
If I like kind of was like, okay, here's how to walk through how to have the best mental health that you can in this time. To me, self-care starts with God care. So you need to go up every morning, look upward first thing in the morning. I try to remind myself, do not check the news, don't go on Facebook, don't look at the latest stats, focus on where's your first relationship, and that's with. So this is a great time to improve it and spend some more time figuring out, okay, what devotionals can I get into? Rewatching some of the worship center information, past sermons, all those sort of things are just upward kind of stuff. Second step is inward. So I want you to be able to notice, like I talked about angst. You have maybe anxiety, fear, loneliness. Don't ignore them, don't stuff them, but to notice what's happening inside of you is to put a name to it, then be able to express it and put it out there. So for me, that would be explaining to you all is journal it, write it down. This is how I feel today. This is what I'm experiencing today. Do I need to take that further? Do I need to reach out and talk to a pastor? Do I need to call, any kind of systems? I know that, I'm a referral source for you at the worship center. Feel free to, we can communicate by video or phone to help express those feelings, right? The inward kind of stuff is just like, okay, what's happening inside of me? Don't ignore it. And then the last step I say is outward. So how do you help yourself feel better? What's good self-care? It begins really with higher structures. You don't open the day with, oh my gosh, I have all this time in front of me, or my kids are making things really, or I'm feeling really, maybe despondent because my purpose at work is no longer there. I'm either not going to have a job anymore. I mean, there's so hard circumstances out there. Create a day that has some structure to it, some form to it. Make sure that your environments are as as organized as they always were. So don't let that fall apart, right? And then another outward thing is to be able to really take your wellness, if you have some to share, take it out there into the community and do, whatever you can do. And of course, we're not physically going out, but make phone calls, check in on people who are alone, think outside of yourself, and that's going to help you feel better on the inside of yourself. Yeah. Your sermon hit it great. At the end of your sermon this week, you kind of talked about how this is our time to shine. There's a purpose in this hardship. God shows up in suffering. What do we do with that? Well, this is our time to be that community for our, Christ in our community. So those are my outward kind of things I would recommend.
And it's interesting that the church has faced this before. Now, we haven't faced this before, but we're talking about the 1500s, the Black Plague hit Europe, and Martin Luther's in the big middle of this. And I love what he had to say. And of course, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm going to fumigate, and I'm going to, in a sense, social distance, before social distance was a thing, but I'm still going to be there for the community, and I'm still going to be there. And so the church was still the church, even in the midst of the Black Plague that hit Europe. And I think this is still an opportunity for us to protect our family, but also love our neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do both, right?
You could do both, certainly. And, I saw that, we might have read the same article, right. But Martin Luther had a lot to say about that. It's like, within the confines of, we can't live out our daily purpose here in fear.
Right.
And so if you're able to put the fear behind you and know that God's got you no matter what, then you can be able to put yourself out there, make yourself available no matter what. Again, social distancing, we don't want to make someone nor bring that into our families, our children, but we can be fearless in getting out there emotionally, doing the shopping and just putting ourselves, caring for our workers at the hospitals. I know that what we can do to provide for them, even financially, supporting our community financially the best that we can is going to show our hands and feet. Right. So,
well, Lynn, this was fantastic. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And though your probably practice is closed physically, you're still talking with people and you're still counseling people.
We're hustling, so to speak. We're very blessed that God gave us technology, and ahead of time we were able to utilize it. So we've been online for 2 weeks doing online counseling. All our counselors are available online. If you really do have a mental health crisis, I'm available to take a crisis call. Just call anonymously, and I can speak with someone by phone or video. And if you need more intensive care, we're here. So just you can share our website if you need to, but it's available.
Okay, we will definitely do that. Well, thank you, Lynn, and again to the Worship Center. Keep your heads up, and just know this is a great opportunity for us to then not only protect our family but also care for others. And a phone call is proper, right? I mean, we can do a lot of phone calls.
And what a great thing to catch up on. I have a list of people I should have called for so long. I'm like, now is my time. I'm going to call the people I really miss and check in with them. And then the ones I know might miss us. So.
That's right. All right. Thank you guys for logging into us.
Bye, y'all. Bye, Justin. Thanks.